from for me. It was just sort of, wanting to be a bit antisocial and not having much in real life, not having a particularly happy time of it at that point of my life. It was just an outlet, annoying people.
You can find trolls all over the internet these days, but trolling wasn't always as extreme as it can be today. A new age troll tactic is swatting, targeted at live streamers where prank calls are used to trick SWAT teams into surrounding a victim's house. The OG internet trolls are all grown up now, so I wondered what it was like being a reformed troll and how the online landscape has changed since. So I had to sit down with Ruaridh to find out.
So when I was much younger, like we're talking early teens, I still had dial-up at the time to date this. What we would do, it was me, because I had terrible sleeping patterns. I'd stay up late at night, early in the morning, and a bunch of Americans, and we would go on online fora, specifically the Neopets fora, and we would join like the role-playing forum. And imagine like Dungeons and Dragons, but done over internet forum. We would join these, and we would specifically like try and pretend to take part up to a point, and then we would slowly just ruin it for them.
Because of how easily accessible the internet is, almost anyone can become a victim of trolling. The people that you trolled impacted.
So the idea was, just nobody really being harmed or anything like that. It wasn't against any rules or laws or anything, but it was just really annoying to anyone involved who was on the receiving end of it. Some people were just they would get confused and sort of drop out, or they would get sweary and angry and annoying. It's like, why are you doing this? Why are you ruining it? Others kind of started just playing along and saw the fun in it. And so this is just silly. This is just mildly annoying. Okay. Because that's how the group grew in the first place. Other people saw we were doing this, saw it was quite fun and a bit silly, and would just join in with us.
Did it impact your real life relationships?
Obviously, it's not something I would tell people IRL that I was doing in the boredom of my own house. And at the moment, I wasn't the most social butterfly. It was something I did because I didn't have anything else to do. It was a replacement in many ways for sort of proper social interaction, sad as that is to say in retrospect.
What's the difference between the trolling that you did on Neopets versus modern day trolls?
Past, I would have defined trolling as winding people up within the rules of an established community. So just being a little bit annoying, getting under their skin, just kind of causing mischief, like playing bogeys online. Now it's come to encapsulate any kind of abusive online conduct. So trolling can be from anything from like what I described, being an annoying teenager, annoying other teenagers playfully and largely harmlessly, to, sending death threats. Like all of that is contained in the modern definition of trolling, and it doesn't really help us understand what's actually happening. You can find people who are like, fathers of three going on Twitter and being the most racist, unpleasant people you can imagine under their own names with like their pet dog as their profile picture. I think that the scaling up of social media has created so many new problems that previously, say when I talk about when I was a teenager, being a little bit annoying online, that was one specific forum on the internet in a specific context. I was entirely anonymous. Everyone else was anonymous. The actual harm that could be done by that was very small. But when you suddenly have something the scale of Twitter, and people posting videos of them abusing people online and things like that, suddenly it can become very, very serious.
So how did you manage to get out of the habit of trolling?
In my case, it was just, being lonely and not having anything better to do at the time. And one of the things I had an outlet. I started playing guitar when I was a teenager. And so instead of being bored and sitting online, I would look up guitar tabs and sit and learn songs. And I just had something to do then. And I had a productive little outlet. And that in itself, led onto different online communities. And, I was in a band for a while. And I had something productive to do. I actually could find community and friendships through music. And so I think with a lot of cases, you find people who are particularly unpleasant online are lacking that community.
Absolutely crazy to imagine a time where online trolls weren't a legitimate danger to people. What's the worst kind of trolling that you've witnessed online?